Greetings, everyone. Greetings, everyone.
Hey, you gonna have to turn that TV down. We can hear them
I
all.
just, I just did. That quarter zip is burning up.
Yes. They
Child, did the whole stadium
exactly.
burn
Right?
to the floor?
I have never seen it look like this.
That's the
God
whole
damn.
everybody. Everybody on that thing.
And look at all of it. They did it in front of the legends. Look at all of them there. Oh, I'm happy. This look
What
like the
legends?
Trey Kelly, Devin Downey there. Sin's not there, but some of the like I think Alex English is there too.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
yeah.
Okay,
Welcome every.
I'll be ready to get out now. There's too many people. I'll be hot.
I'll be at the getting some
I'd have
chicken.
to be like on the outside. I could be on the outside. I can't be all the way in the middle.
I'll be up at the concession stand getting me some drinks.
Concession stand would have been closed, honey.
Oh Lord, I forgot you right. Well, welcome everybody back to another exhilarating week of the committee before dark, before it gets dark. Um, had an exciting week of women's basketball. Is anybody else? Lo, you a co-host, right? Okay, want to make sure.
Yeah.
Had another exciting week of women's basketball, all that good stuff. I guess what were your thoughts from this past week, and what were some of your aha moments or games that had you like, damn, ooh.
Uh, My thoughts after this weekend is that March Madness is going to be insane. Like it's really going to be about matchups and which team matches up well with the other team, and you really can like leave no team out of it. Um, yeah, that's my thoughts from this weekend.
I can't remember. So when we talk about each game, I have something to say. I can't remember.
It was a lot of games
It
this
was.
weekend.
So, which team impressed you the most, Yana, out of all of the madness, I guess?
Um, if I had to pick, I would say Kansas State because I did not think that they would do so well with Lee going down and not being available. I didn't think they'd like stink, but I definitely didn't think they'd just, keep winning. I thought, losing her would hurt a little bit. Obviously, I think they said she'd be out for maybe close to four
Mm-hmm.
weeks. So there's a lot of games left without her, but they've had a really good start um, without her so far.
I think they had good practice. Last season they had to play without her, so I think
True.
fortunately that unfortunate for the injury, it helped them. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think I was the most impressed with off the rip is Utah. Um, just them coming in and getting those two wins. That was dope. And they blew somebody out, and then they had a close win. So they won two different ways.
And is it mopping for Kansas State? Because that's actually going to be the first game that we discuss. Um, 29 minutes, 16 points, 9 rebounds. Like she was really good for them. So do we think that the Big 12 is Kansas State's to lose, or who's their, I guess, biggest competitor? Because I mean, they've already handled Baylor. So is there any other competition for them in the conference?
Everybody's competition in that conference, in my opinion. And if I want to be honest, I'm not putting a hex on nobody, but I think Kansas State did really well. But I just think Baylor just not them girls, and I think people got confused, and they're not. Like they're not. They're not. They're not. They don't always play smart basketball. The people they have to depend on aren't people that you should be depending on. I've been trying to tell y'all, they're just not. No.
I agree. I agree. Hey y'all.
Hey, the jig is up.
Yeah, with Waco being
Yeah,
the
the
closest thing
jig is
to
up.
me. Yeah, I don't think they should host. I don't think they a top 16 team. None of that. So yeah, I agree.
See the host, because they got that new arena. They're gonna want people. I think the league, well, the NCAA, they're gonna want people to get there, put seats in there, down there in Waco, and they're gonna just try to showcase off this. Oh, look at this! Look where they play. That's always been, I think, something that I've heard in regards to some of the mid-major teams who may have qualified, or should have been a top 16 seed, but travel to get there for fans and other teams wasn't probably desirable. And then so now that Baylor, you have this brand new arena. I won't be surprised if they still find a way to keep them up there as a top 16 seed to host.
I hope not. That would be like disrespectful to the game if they don't qualify for it because I can't see more than one team from the Big 12 being in the top 16 at the moment. I don't know who it's going to be. It could be Baylor, it could be Kansas State, or it could be Texas, but I don't think all three of them will be in the top 16, especially with how deep the Pac 12 is and how well, I guess, like some teams in the Big 10, because I think the Big 10 could probably get three with Indiana, Iowa, and Ohio State. And so when you like look at that, I don't know if there's room for the Big 12 to really be getting like just sliding teams in just because. Um, so yeah, I hope if they earn it, that's fine. But if they don't earn it, I hope it's not because their arena is dope.
Okay, was that the best game to you all in the Big 12 before we go on out, we stay out west and go on to the Pac?
I don't remember the games. I was just like I don't remember all that off the top of my head.
Well, we're going.
Yeah, I think Kansas State beating Baylor was probably the biggest
Mm-hmm.
one because that last shot was
Ah!
that
I
last shot
remember
was
that.
crazy.
Wait, see.
That last shot was it was crazy.
So tell us, what made the shot crazy? For those who may not have watched.
There was like they were down by what, two?
Mm-hmm.
What? Yeah, two, two, two,
I
two.
don't I don't think they needed a three to tie. And they were down and then there was like 9 seconds left. And soon as Walker got the ball passed into her, it's like she just turned around and she's like at half court. She just turns around and she chucks it up and missed everything. And then Dre Edwards got the ball and like dribbled it away. I don't it was a lot. That whole final 9 seconds for them was not good.
Every
I really think because that point guard, I just lost her name. She's a very solid point guard, and she normally now she makes good decisions. If anybody on Baylor team that does, it's her. So I really think I think she thought the clock said 1.9, 1.8 or something. I really just think she got the time mixed up in her head. We go back to somebody because somebody on the sideline need to be telling you that. So that's bad communication on their part. But I really think she just thought the clock said something different because that girl don't do stuff like that. Now, Driana dribbling away from the basket is 100%. That's on brand. But for that girl, no, she don't do stuff like that.
I think everybody had the same reaction on the timeline. Everyone's comments were like, "Is that the play you drew up? Really, Nikki? Are you serious?" Then some also reference, "I guess no more buzzer beaters for Dre."
Yeah, yeah. That girl don't make mistakes like that. So something went wrong for sure.
Someone did say that maybe she thought they were trying to foul her, and so she like, possibly threw it up, hoping that she'd get the foul call on the shot. And I mean that could be a possibility, but overall it confused the hell out of me when I saw it.
Okay. So going out to the Pac-12, the Utah is on a tear. Outside of Stanford, they have pretty much handled over the past 2 weeks the California schools. They're on a three-game win streak. They knocked off Cat. Well, I won't say knocked off, but shout out to Sharma. She's doing her thing somewhat. Well, she's doing her thing out there in the Bay. But they got two really good wins last week against USC and UCLA. And so, which of those games were your favorite? I know there's been some discussion about coaches and the positions or lack thereof of good positions that they put their players in or their star players in. Shouts out to Low. So, what do you think about Utah's performance over the weekend?
I'm pretty proud of them because I feel like they got it done and Peely wasn't having the best
Mm-hmm.
game. I hate how I just don't think their coach sets Peely up for success. Everybody in America know where the ball going. She still gives it to her. Peely is not that big. It's just the play. Sometimes it just don't work. I don't get it. I'm still not sold on the mid range and only threes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a lot that I'm just now. I mean, it's working. They got the win, so it's definitely shout out to them. But I just think Peely could be in a lot better of positions. And also on the flip side, I'm gonna give Corey a little bit of leeway for not playing bets because it's the first time it happened. But if it happened again, I gotta have to start having some conversations with Corey too. Hmm.
Yeah, I think between the two games, I was most impressed with their UCLA game. They they jumped on UCLA early and then they stuck with it and made things difficult. And even when UCLA went on their run and took the lead with under a minute to go, they were able to, like fight back. I do think the coach, I'm just happy the final play that she drew up, she finally used Peely as a decoy. Like, I get wanting to go to your star, but there's been several games this season where the games went on the line and they throw it to Peely, ask her to go into the paint against trees or like five people in the paint waiting on her to come in the paint because they know she's the one taking the shot, and she gets her shot blocked or she turns it over or it's a foul that's not called. And so them using her as a decoy worked to perfection. And I think it forces the defense to actually be like, okay, maybe I do need to guard everybody on the court when the game is on the line and not Peely. And that might open up things for her to do something later on down the line. So shout out to her for finally doing something different when it really mattered.
Hmm.
And shout out to the others on Utah for stepping up.
Deja
Like Lo
Young.
said, Peely was yeah, like Deja Young was hooping. The little point guard, I can't remember her name. She was hooping.
He's solid.
Is that the one who hit the
Like,
was it in
Layup
overtime or in to send it to overtime, the layup?
descended, I
Okay.
believe.
I don't even remember. I was halfway during that game. But shout out to them because they held it down while Peely figured it out. And that's huge when your other players can step up when your star is not playing well.
Hmm. Colorado split the weekend. They lost to UCLA, and which was a fun one, and then they beat USC. Um, I know friend of the committee, Jalen Sherrod. It's a really good one, very quick. What do y'all see from you? I mean, Colorado that you enjoyed over the weekend, and what are your thoughts on those games?
They pretty well rounded. They getting it done. Their coach is doing very well. They just pretty solid. The team that they are, I expect them to win some and drop some. So I'm not surprised really by anything they got really going on, to be honest. But I think they're really solid. If the matchups align the right way, they could go far in the tournament. I believe if the matchups align correctly for them.
I mean, look at
Yeah, I like the balance that they show. With Quay Miller stepping up, like she stepped up huge in that USC game. She was phenomenal. Obviously Jalen Von Lay's been hooping. Like I love Von Lay. I think she flies under the radar, but she does like a lot of the dirty work in the paint. She's an aggressive rebounder and she's solid. Like you need a solid big in this league. And she's that for Colorado. And I think as long as she's doing what she's doing, Colorado's always going to be in a game. So I liked what I saw from her this weekend as well. In Colorado, like that's that's a good team right there. They gonna make some people real. They gonna stress some teams out in March Madness.
on the other side of the Pac-12, you got Arizona, who's been on a little nasty little slip here lately. Um, they've lost four straight. They,
Oh my God.
yeah, and one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, six of their last eight. So, like,
They got a ranked win in there somewhere, huh?
they did beat UConn. I mean, oof, Lord, they did beat Utah by one. So shout out to them for that. But in that slate, 6 out of 8 games, it's not really that good of a start to a Pac-12, especially um they still have Cal and Stanford coming up. Then they have to play both the USC's again. I mean, both the LA schools again. So it's not looking as promising as a lot of people would hope for Arizona this season. So, what needs to change for them, or what do you think? Is it a lost season so far in terms of making a tournament, or do you think they can turn it around for them?
They're
I
done.
don't think it's a lost
Come on,
season for
Nene.
the
They're
tournament.
done. They're done. Hold on. Hold
I
on.
mean, if you're talking about the Pac-12 tournament, I think every team makes it in that, so they're good there. But March Madness, yeah, no, they
Done.
lost to Oregon. Like
Hold on.
Stop.
it's it's a wrap
Yeah.
for them.
WNIT.
Oh my God.
If that, I don't even know. Yeah, shit, maybe.
What's so interesting, like the Jada Williams girl, I feel like had all of this hype coming out, and now we just that baby might need to go ahead and go somewhere else. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what Arizona got going on. I truly don't.
Caitlin Gilbert.
Yeah, you ain't the first person I said that. I ain't gonna hold you.
That's literally it. Everything else is just. I mean, it's youth and a deal. Youth and a deal.
Cute fits.
You are not the first person I heard say that. That's crazy, Fred, that you said that.
Yeah,
Um,
I want her to leave, but that's my pick to leave.
You want her to leave so to get better?
I want her to leave so she can get better. Like so we can the world will know her.
Oh, interesting.
I as far as Arizona, I don't know. I think that they run with Airy was you mean the highlight of Adia's career in my opinion. But I'll see if she can make it again.
okay. Anything else from the Pac-12 that you all noticed? Oregon State did crack the rankings this week, and with a loss at that. So I guess the
Yeah,
committee felt like,
crazy that they finally put them in the top 25, and I don't even think it was after a good weekend for them.
right.
Like, I think the best time to put them in the top 25 was maybe last weekend. Even though they lost, it was all really close games to top 5 opponents. That probably would have been a better time to slide them into the top 25, but I don't even think this weekend was like a super good weekend for them. Like, they lost to a Brinkless Stanford. I mean, like, shout out to Kiki Arioffen. Like, she's hooping, but still, like, come on.
Well, I'm going to leave the Pac-12 and head over to the Midwest, where we've had quite a bit of action. We've seen some tussling on the court, post game, during the game, pre games, all those good stuff. I think the win of the week is definitely probably Ohio State and knocking off at that time number two Iowa. What are your takeaways from that game?
Do better calling fouls.
Yes.
Ohio State needs to do better. They just they get go in these lows sometimes, and they always seem like athletic enough. Well, sometimes they're athletic enough and quick enough to and play defense well enough to bring it back. But they go in these lows, man, that are just I'm just like, oh, Ohio State, baby, what we doing? Like, so yeah.
I
Yes,
think
foul calling needs to be better. I think I've seen this discussion pop up on the timeline a lot, but I really do think that refs need to be evaluated in how they call games, because there's players that can get away with a lot. And then there's some players where they don't get away with like simple things like a slight touch on defense or something like that. Like I Caitlin and I think it and like I can't get mad at the player because you just play the game, right? The way it's called. So if you let me get away with this shit, I'ma do it. Like there was one time where Celeste had like a fast break and she like pump fake and Caitlin was like mid-air because she was gonna block it, but then she like came down on Celeste's back and they just called like a out of bounds, and I was like, what the fuck? And there was times where you could hear even like the commentators be like, oh yeah, that should have been a push off. Oh yeah, that should have been a foul. Oh yeah, she pushed her there. Like, come on, man. Like, I get Caitlin's a star and she's everyone comes to see her play, but also call the game fair. because on the other end of the like on the other side of the ball, when players are trying to defend her, as soon as they even touch her, it's a foul and you take them out of the game. So I yeah, that was really annoying to watch.
Just in time for
Also,
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, also Kevin McGuff. I don't think he's that guy as well. X's and O's wise, he makes some questionable subs. The Ricky Harris girl, she be in for too long, in my opinion. But that's all because the I guess Celeste foul trouble. So, but
She played some good minutes this weekend, though. I believe in that Iowa game. She gave them a little something. Like she hit a big shot or two. I think she did solid. Now,
I guess it's the defensive end of the floor for her with me because them 50-50 balls, she would watch
yeah.
somebody, you mean box somebody out and watch the ball bounce twice on the hardwood before she even think about going to go get it.
But shout out to Cody Hoops. Uh JC Sheldon was amazing as well. When it mattered most, JC Sheldon started stepping up. Personally, I will say I do think the fouls helped Cody. One thing I feel like Cody's struggle with this season is just moving too fast. And when she moves too fast, she ends up getting a bunch of charge calls on her, or she like bowl someone on the ground or turn the ball over because she falls or whatever. But with her being in foul trouble, it made her slow down and think about a lot of the moves she was making. And I think that made her play better because she was under control and more methodical about what she was deciding to do.
Well, and also at that game, just in time for Oscar nomination season, we had an amazing post-game performance from Caitlin Clark, featuring the fan for supporting and best lead actress. So there's a lot of conversation going on around the interaction or the what some described as a tackle of Caitlin after the game. What are your thoughts on the court storming and then that whole debacle that took place afterwards?
Me personally, I don't like how people get high and mighty about kids storming the court. If you want to focus on the quote unquote safety issue, Ohio State people could have done a better job. Cool, I get that. Let talk about that. But to say, you know what I'm saying? And I know Ma Vopel had this long speech about storming the court, and I've seen all of these people talk about, and it's like it's not. Let's focus on the issue. Storming the court is a part of college sports. That's what makes college sports fun. That's why professional sports aren't as fun. The passion, the love, the kids, it's not there. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
don't act like that. Like just say, hey, we might need to have better security measures in place. Hey, maybe we need to do this to make this different. But don't say, oh, kids shouldn't storm the court. Like that's OD. Like that's what college is for. I'm turning up every time in college. It don't matter. I'm storming the court for a free T-shirt. For I'm storming the court for a Chick-fil-A gift card. You know what I
Hello.
mean? That's the very nature of college athletics. It's kids. So let them kids do what they want to do. If you want to talk about the Caitlyn getting hit or whatever, leave that at that. But don't do that. I don't like
Yeah. They definitely made it way bigger. Or I just hate that they used that moment to try to take away from how great of a game it was.
right.
Like that was we're talking about a team that's kind of been struggling a little bit in Ohio State and they're starting to find their way again. Iowa and Ohio State is starting to be like a little rivalry as well. And here comes, a number two team on your home court. They had the largest crowd this season for women's basketball in general. It was over 19,000, I think is what I heard. Like the atmosphere was insane and they just they stormed back in a game where they were kind of down. They were fighting their way back in it, down, fighting their way back in it, went back down again, and then they take the lead and dominate in overtime. Like let those kids enjoy that moment. Let the college kids enjoy that moment, storm the court, love up on the players. Like we see it in football. Just watched it in men's basketball with South Carolina men's. Like it's an amazing thing to be a part of, and trying to take that away from a team just because of an accident is stupid to me.
Right.
And like Lo said, in the future, work on precautions of how to make sure that doesn't happen again. But seeing tweets like, I'm worried about, like, I saw a tweet from a hoops page that was like, I'm worried about UCLA and USC going to the Big Ten next year because they do a good job of protecting players, and I'm so nervous about, like, what? Are you
Talking
serious?
about,
Like,
like,
that is
it,
insane to me.
golly, everybody just whine, 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 whine. And then when it come to real issues like racism, you don't got nothing to say. But you want to talk about college kids being college kids. Shut up. They are so worrisome. It just it blows my mind that these people they act like that. Like, oh my God, my goodness. And then we get the clip slowed down and it's not even what we thought it was. Like, just doing the most for no reason. It's insufferable. My goodness. Piss me off all over again.
And then also the people that played into it to make it something even worse. Like, I saw a tweet that was like, watch Caitlin Clark get tackled, and another one that was like, watch Caitlin Clark get decked. And I'm like, what the, are we watching the same thing? Like, are we seriously, are y'all for real right now? And then you got the head coach adding more fire to it, and like kind of towards the end of her spiel in her conference thing or whatever, she was kind of talking about how it felt like they were kind of like hunting to be physical with her, and I don't want to
She
say it,
can't handle the bar
yeah,
fight.
basically. So yeah.
And
I
I
enjoyed that rivalry.
and
I loved it.
I just I can't tell Caitlyn who to be or whatever, but like I just feel like a cool bitch would have been like, yeah, y'all saw that girl, like she trucked me, like it hurt a little bit, but I'm cool, like not of course not like a black girl, right? But yeah, that girl trucked me, like y'all saw that. I was hurt a little bit. I'm cool now. Ain't really much to it. They just was celebrating, having a good time. Shout out to them. Yeah, security do need to be a little tighter, but we move like it's cool. It was access. We straight. You know what I mean? Like instead of dragging this whole ordeal because we want to talk about dangerous. Child, y'all want me to start tonight? I ain't gonna start. I ain't gonna go there. But sitting up there crying, not playing victim because something did happen to you, but exaggerating the story and knowing that the masses are gonna play into it and call you. That's dangerous. If you want to get into real danger, that's
Hmm.
and that's what they have been doing since the start of time. But we're not gonna go there today. Go ahead, y'all. It ain't time for history class. It's not time for that. Or sociology. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead now.
So Indiana, they went up to Minnesota and Purdue. They're good. They got two dubs there. Do we think that Indiana, um, I guess my favorite girl, what's the name? How I pronounce the name again? Nikola Shakova. Oh wait, that's the wrong team. Never mind. That's
That's
Ohio
on
State.
Ohio
Hey,
State.
but she
Yeah.
but she did her she hit some big
She
shots.
did.
The
She
way
showed
you
it.
screamed her name in the chat was hilarious.
Listen,
I
I
think
think it was
Alexis
I think it was
Markowski.
a turnaround or something. It was like a baby hook or something she hit, and I was impressed. I loved it. So with Indiana though, do we feel like they could flip flop Indiana and Iowa, Indiana, Ohio State in terms of like really owning the Big Ten, or do we think it's still up for anyone to grab?
I
I
think
still think it's Iowa's to lose, to be honest. Um, but I'm not sold on Indiana. I just don't see it for them. Um, yeah,
I
I
really
don't see it for Indiana.
I really expected, a little more from Ohio State, but maybe this win will get them back in the groove and have them doing their thing.
So you saying McKenzie should have left?
I
But I
mean,
mean, it's in a sense it's up for grabs because right now there's three teams all with one loss in conference: Iowa, Indiana, and Ohio State. Ohio
Hmm.
State has the head-to-head right now, but they do have to go to Iowa and play again. Um, don't sleep on Penn State. I don't think they're gonna win the conference, but I can definitely
Yeah.
see them working their way into the top four. They've been playing really, really well.
Welcome back, Tasha Cobbs.
oh my God, you got to stop calling that girl that. You really
Like
stop.
she, the chains have been broken, and
Yes.
she is out doing her thing. So they look a lot different with Ashley being active. So like currently right now, I think they are fifth maybe in the Big Ten. Do we see them? They're six. Do we see them potentially rising? Because Nebraska's had some great games. Minnesota has as well. Of course, your top three right now: Iowa, Indiana, and Ohio State. Do we see them possibly get one of them top four seeds?
I think so, because a lot of the teams that are in front of them have the same number of like it's like a logjam tie right now for fourth. Most of the teams in that like 4 through 7 range all have 3 losses, and I think they can. They are gonna have to like at least win one versus like Iowa or Ohio State or something. But
Like Ashley has really so her first game back, 18 points, 5 assists. Second game back, 19 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Third game, 20 points, 6 rebounds, just 1 assist. But like she shot it each game almost all except for one. And she was just under 50% for one of the games, and then 58 and 61% for the other two. So I guess she's been. I mean, granted, she hasn't really played since fall of 22. So it's like it feels like she's out to prove something. People played with her name. She wasn't included in some people's group chat. So what do we think Ashley can lead them, or how do we think she can lead them this season?
I think them people are weird. But anywho, go ahead. The way they get on here carrying on about Ashley is weird. For real. I know that wasn't the point, but I'm still mad from the last conversation. Let's
and the gag is they could use her right now with Amor being down and out with a head injury. So crazy. I mean, I think she can lead them into a very competitive Big Ten race. Uh, they were already playing well, even with her sideline, and so I think just adding her into their offense just helps them even more. So it should be. I'm excited to see what Penn State can do.
Okay, okay. Going on over to we're gonna save the best conference for well, I don't know if we can say that this year.
say it.
You said say it.
Yep.
We're gonna save the best conference for last. So
Say
making a stop to the ACC, who have been some of your favorite teams this past weekend in the ACC?
say North Carolina gotta be. They start.
Yeah, North Carolina has been doing their thing. Syracuse.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've been really like I don't want to say surprised because I've always thought the ACC was pretty wide open. But Syracuse they were really good this weekend as well. I think Louisville finally played one of the top teams in the ACC. Because for a while they were like the only team that was undefeated, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that just had to do with scheduling. So I think North Carolina kind of handled that.
Yeah, Syracuse is
Um,
currently like it's a log jam, and everyone's on at that 7, 8 game mark. So Syracuse, North Carolina, and Louisville have are the only three teams with just one loss. Syracuse is 16-2 overall this season. They won. They are on a 5 game winning streak. So in that process, Boston College, Wake Forest, Clemson, a ranked Florida State team, like a number 15 Florida State team, and Pitt. So they do have some good wins. They've also beaten Notre Dame. So like they are, and that's who their next game will be on the 25th. So it does look promising for them. Felicia is doing her good thing up there in the snow. So do we see them holding out at that number one position?
Yeah. It's
I don't know.
eyes wide open.
I think the ACC is just any given weekend, to be honest. Like, a lot of the teams are very similar in that they all have like a guard that they're led by and they rely on heavy. And
Mm-hmm.
then they have like a small post player that they kind of rely on heavy too. So a lot of the teams they match up really well and it's really any given day.
Their next 3 game stretch is Notre Dame, Virginia Tech, and Louisville. Two on the road, and they got Virginia. I mean, they got Virginia Tech at home.
I mean, that's gonna be a pretty telling next couple of games. I don't know if Amore is back for Virginia Tech. I that makes a huge difference for Virginia Tech. I watched them play a little bit in their last game versus Clemson, and they did not look good to me without her. They won, but it wasn't a pretty one. Sometimes, like losing your point guard, it hurts. It really does.
North Carolina State.
Rivers back, which is good for them.
Mm-hmm. Because they and Rivers back as well as weren't they down two people or was it just Rivers?
I think it was just.
Rivers, sorry.
I thought it was just. So it was somebody else.
Maybe it was just River.
Yeah, I thought it was just River. Unless I'm missing something.
Maybe I probably got that mixed up. So, are there any surprise teams in the ACC outside of Syracuse?
Uh, yeah. Boston College upset Miami. They got a couple good pieces, but no, I think they're doing just about what I expected. All of them, and you just kind of never know any given night for like majority of them. That's what I expected.
Okay, now we're gonna travel on down 95 South to the SEC, where this week will be headlined by numbers one in LSU. It's down there in down there in Baton Rouge. I think that's how they say it, Baton Rouge. And what are okay? I'm gonna give Yana UB South Carolina, Low UB LSU.
Okay.
Defend defend yourself and give a stance for your team and how you think you're gonna win the game.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And
Uh,
give me your X factor.
Okay. I think the X factor for South Carolina to win the game is going to be rebounding. Limit second chance buckets for LSU. I think that they did a breakdown in one of the games of how Angel in particular gets a lot of her points, and close to 30% of it is putbacks. And I think it's also the same for Anissa and sometimes Flage. Flage does a really good job of rebounding as well and getting putbacks. LSU doesn't really like shoot the ball particularly well as they did last year. And so a lot of their offensive putbacks helps them a lot. And so you got to limit second chance points. And that goes from post players to the guards. Everyone has to box out.
for LSU, really, I think what they're gonna have to do is they're gonna come in, shit, like on 10. I feel like they have to get a good start. Their X factor to me is gonna be the crowd. Use that to their advantage, which they do a good job of. I think they all gonna have to show up in some kind of way, some way, shape, or form. Flage is gonna have to be there. Michaela, she's a freshman, so I don't know how she'll come off in the game, but she's gonna have to be there. They really Haley or Poa is gonna have to give them something. If Haley or Poa disappears, it's gonna be a tough night for them. So I just think they got to do what they do, and they got to do it well, and they got to stick to it, because if I'm at LSU playing against South Carolina, I'm like, they deep. We don't have no time to have any. We don't have. They don't have. What's the word?
The
They
luxury.
they don't have a small. They got a very small margin of error for me, in my opinion.
Okay.
Um, so I think they just have to come in, use the crowd. Angel's gonna have to essentially redeem herself, but not do too much. She gotta. Angel has to be there, but she can't start pressing. She can't do too much, because if she start doing too much, like. So they just really gotta stay true to themselves, use that crowd, and lock in for 40 minutes. Truly.
So now, if you threw a ripple at each other at the opposing team, what would your chink in the chain be, or your I guess
I think it's just
your
so.
surprise, I should
I
say.
I think it's just so hard for a South Carolina team this year, because they're so deep. The post is decent. The guards decent. So I think it's just really, really hard to throw a ripple. I think you're gonna have to what LSU's one of LSU's struggles can be defense. They're gonna have to lock in. And their guards, especially because you don't want the guards coming down flying at Angel and Anissa and them getting in foul trouble. Because in my opinion, what you don't want to do is have to go to ADR. She said she's not ready for the moment right now for me. So they're really gonna have to lock in. They're gonna have to lock the fuck in on defense, especially their guards. Especially their guards. Flage, we know play. People know she could play really good defense. Haley, I'm just not sure.
Who you
And
putting Haley on? Out of the starting five, Haley got to guard somebody. Who you
The
putting her on?
bench.
I don't, and I'm not like all just I don't know. I don't know. Right? I don't.
Pow pow.
No, that's not smart to
Oh
me.
God, no. And Powell's bigger than her too. No.
I have to.
Nah, you had to. She can't guard Raven.
But Pow Pow was okay. I don't know. Pow Pow don't seem like a good idea either. I would say right. I don't know. I would say Raven, and I will put my best defender on Pow Pow, and hope Bree don't go off. I don't know. I don't
Is
know.
Haley
Nah,
is
Poet need to
Haley
be on
very
Bree Hall.
handsy?
I don't know.
Is there a size advantage for anyone on LSU's team against an opposing South Carolina
Um,
player?
it depends on. I don't want to say a size advantage, but I do think there's an activity level advantage depending on the matchups. Like I think Chloe is bigger than Anissa, but Anissa's activity level on the boards is
Mm.
higher. And so Chloe's gonna have to be very like intentional about boxing Anissa out. Same with Watkins, but I think Watkins and Anissa kind of have the same intensity level when it comes to rebounding and stuff like that. Um, but I don't think they have a size advantage on anyone that I can
Hey,
think of.
Williams.
Yeah, Michaela. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, but Michaela, I guess it depends on who Michaela being guarded by, though.
True.
Ooh, so my wrinkle, which I know Dawn will never do because Dawn don't do zone, but I go triangle and two. I would face guard Angel and Michaela and force them to pass the ball and make the other three beat me.
Force, Lord, face guard. Then was who? Who face guard? Who?
I would put, personally, I would probably put Watkins on Angel or Fagin, to be honest. Like
Oof.
if it was the smaller lineup, probably not the Camilla lineup, but I would put Watkins or Fagin on Angel. Just because they're quick enough, they're strong enough, they're bouncy enough to stay with her. And then as far as a guard on Michaela, I'd either go with Raven or Breezy because they're both super quick and physical and they both have quick hands, and they'll make it tough.
I bring Ja off that thing with Ja on her. I
I
say
mean,
Ja
you could
don't
throw
I
the whole
mean,
kitchen sink at her,
just
switch it
burn
up.
some fouls.
Ja don't do nothing. Just go ahead. Go. Craig got his hand up.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I don't think it's gonna be close, y'all. I think y'all thought last year was bad. This year about to be ass beating.
See,
Um,
I can if they were in the CLA, I might be like, maybe. But the P them people finna be. That's,
I get that, but this is the culture thing. Like, so I'm looking at Adele talk to the way she, you mean, involved with the team, and this. I think the culture is bigger than you mean the place that you play in. Like y'all
I
create
I
What
tremendous
I
synergy.
will say, LSU games at LSU have always been tough for
yes,
South Carolina.
even when Nikki was there.
Like
Trust
even
me, I
when the
know. I'm an A&M
team,
fan. That's like our Achilles heel. Always, even when Nikki was there, LSU has always been a tough place to play. But I'm just saying, from South Carolina's played from Paris to this to that to there. I think the adversity is there. I think once that, what I would do, my wrinkle would be that second level. When that second group come in, I'm pressing. I'm gonna put. You mean I'm speeding the game up? You mean with that second level? I think once you put in that second group, it's like nobody in the nation can kind of hang with that because they don't have the depth,
Agreed, Craig.
and you know they're not conditioned. We look at
yeah,
LSU try to slow the game down week by week by week, and it's just getting slower. They're getting better at, like, you mean, their actions, but the game is getting slower.
mean, you ain't even got to press, to be honest. You could literally just let Raven sit up there and defend the full length of the court. Like,
No, I don't
Raven
want.
is a one-man press by herself.
No, I want Malaysia. I want Malaysia on the ball from the 94 feet. Yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see pickpocket and Ja and them
Either
swing
one. Throw
fly
Ja
around.
in there, too.
Yep.
Now I heard Shay too. I think.
Oh no,
Hmm.
I agree with Craig, but I think the difference gonna be Kim gonna lean on them refs. Them refs is gonna keep it close.
Oh yeah.
Like LSU
That's why I
leads
say
the
plus
country in
plus. Yeah.
what you call it in free throws. Like it's gonna get nasty. But I think if South Carolina's 3-point shooting travels, it's gonna be lights out.
And I think one way to combat the fouling is a point that I made earlier in rebounding. A lot of the fouls come from second chance buckets when, say, Angel goes up and she gets that rebound, and teams are like trying to slap at it because she got the rebound and she's going back up. Then she gets a foul call. Like, it's usually off of that rebound. If you can take that rebound away and only give them one chance at the basket, that helps you as a defender.
I'm letting Angel do whatever she do. I'm holding Michaela and Anissa to squat,
Yeah, because if
and
Angel gonna
that's
chew
how we
me to
getting it
death,
done.
oh well, okay.
That might be
Y'all.
an approach.
She's a
We've
3-point shooter
seen,
now.
but we've seen that type of approach from Dawn before, where it's kind of been like a, I'll let one person go off and stop everybody else. Not really like go off, but we'll just guard her one on one, and whatever happens, happens. But we gonna make sure we stop everybody.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm
So we
interested. I'm just really interested to see how LSU hides Haley Van Lith on defense. Like,
I want
because
to
as
see
much
how many charges are taken between Poa and South Carolina. I want to see.
that's gonna be interesting. Who typically take? I know Poa takes most on LSU. Does Breezy take the most on South Carolina?
I mean, Breezy takes some, but I don't think she takes like I don't even think a lot of our girls take charges like that. We just play straight up defense. Shit. Ain't got no time for no flopping. We
I
be
would say
defending our ass off.
Pow. She'll land on the ass a couple times and try to take it.
Okay. Anything else from this game before we head on over to Nashville?
Uh, nah, I'm excited. College game day. I think they got stuff going on at LSU from 3 p.m. until game day or whatever. So it should be a fun one. I was gonna go to that game, but them reseller prices were insane.
Oh, also one caveat: if Camilla comes out like these last two games, I don't. That's yeah, yeah.
What you saying? 40-point game? Because they
If
beating them.
if Camilla comes out as aggressive, because I mean I think Angel, I'm one of the people who's always been Team Angel, right? If but at the end of the day, Camilla is a 6'7" person, so if she's just aggressive and comes out hard, I just it's just nothing anybody can really do with her but foul.
And she is the best free throw shooter
Yeah.
on the team.
Well, they'll probably bring. I'm interested to see how Del Rosario does in
Oh,
this game because we're gonna see her. There's no way they're not gonna play
I
her.
don't think you could do that, man. I don't.
those
They
girls
gonna
will
play
lead.
her.
Everybody on the team is faster than ADR on South Carolina's team. So I don't think that's a if getting into a foot race with them.
I mean, it might not be the smartest move, but they gonna play her.
They gonna do it just to try to rile up
Or
some
some red.
fouls from South Carolina. I can see them because she's a little out of control. They gonna swipe at it. I mean they gonna try to block her shit. It's gonna yeah.
And
Just
Kim
go.
gonna do the same thing when HBL threw that ball off the backboard. Get her ass, get her ass out of here.
All right, going on to Vanderbilt, who is having a really great season. 17-3. They're top four seed right now in the SEC. Shay Ralph is doing her thing down there from the school of Gino. So They lost. They did beat Auburn, who was coming off a really great game against LSU, and then Tennessee they dropped 73-64. So that was a good win for Tennessee. What have you liked, and what have you been impressed by with Vanderbilt so far this season?
Ooh. I think they're scoring the ball really well. I think last year they struggled a little bit scoring wise and keeping up with scoring. And so that's helped them. Defensively, they've played better too. Overall, I've just been really impressed with just the jump they made as a whole, game wise. Uh, yeah.
For me, I think they're really good. They're first of all, they're just very, 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 very disciplined, which doesn't surprise me. Like you said, they're from the Geno Shea, like they do that. Their ball movement is also really well. They're crisp. They know what they're doing. They make the right reads. They make the right passes. Um, they got this freshman. I think she's a freshman named Pierre, a hooper. She's really, really good. Jordan Cameron does her thing. I do think they do have some pretty good talent. That has to rise a little. They look pretty solid. So overall, it's just kind of the jump that they've made and the progress that they've been able to make. And I think once she continues to get good pieces with that coaching and keeping that culture and that discipline, they're gonna be all right.
Speaking of good pieces, I mean they just got Michaela Blakes. And I think Lo, you may have mentioned it. When's the last time Vanderbilt has beat Tennessee for recruiting in the recruiting battle? Like that's a really big get for them there.
Jelani should have went to go play with her sister.
That would have been dope. Now Jelani would have went. Now that would have been some dope. That would have
And
been.
she playing with a sister, just
Yeah.
not the sister in Vandy.
We need her in the SEC.
Wait, there's
That's
another one
my.
on Ohio State.
Yes, B.
Yeah. She got one on Vandy and she got one at Ohio State.
The oldest one that she looks like plays for Vandy. She don't look like the one on Ohio State, in my opinion.
I
But
agree.
yeah,
So Shay is so she's really build. I mean, granted, barring a major fall from grace for Vanderbilt, they are a tournament team. You would agree, right?
Yes. I would say so.
Give me a week. This week. Give me this week to
Because
decide.
over
Okay, well they're about to play South
I-
Carolina,
that's
so be decent. Like,
I know. I need to see it against the
like
standard. I need to see it against the number one team.
fair.
that's not
It
fair.
is
Like,
though. It is. Who
that
like?
is not fair.
I want to see you against number one. Yes.
So
That's why
they
you in
do
this
have a tough
conference.
stretch coming up. Actually, they got South Carolina, and they're in CLA. Then they host Ole Miss and Alabama and LSU. So they get a
Exactly.
three. So those are some tough teams over the next 2 weeks.
And they
That is
sit
a
in. They right now they
hellish
sit
streak.
in at the four seed, and they got Ole Miss behind them, Mississippi State behind them, and A&M Arkansas trailing them as well. So that's why. Yeah.
That's a hellish streak. I could see them coming out of that 2-2.
I'm about to put you on the spot. Which two?
Ole Miss and Alabama, both are at home. They've played well at home. They've been starting to get a little crowd too. Ole Miss doesn't really play well on the road. Their scoring does not travel with them sometimes on the road.
But that
Uh,
defense too.
Honestly, same with Bama. So I think it's doable for them to walk away 2-2. Now, winning in CLA is just something that not a lot of people have done in the past several years. So it's I yeah,
They best
that's
hope was mental fatigue from that Thursday game. But even at that, I just don't know if they got enough.
and then they'll be playing LSU and LSU's LSU. So I mean, they could possibly steal it, but I don't see it.
Okay. Who are just some other teams that you've been impressed with in the SEC? Obviously, you know your top two teams, LSU and South Carolina, and then you
Don't sleep
have.
on Tennessee.
Tennessee looked like they might be turning around. Do you think? Keep Kelly.
No,
I
no,
don't know
she's still a
about
volunteer,
keeper,
but
but they doing they doing well. I wouldn't keep her, but
Kelly said they third place. You got to keep her.
I mean, I guess. If the fans love her, then that's all that matters.
Now, do
I
the fans love her? Because we
personally,
don't see them petitions. I don't know.
And Tennessee don't play nobody until late in February, and they don't really start playing like the bigger teams until what, February, Valentine's Day.
Yeah, Tennessee
So
ends their season.
well, that's South
Um,
Carolina game.
yeah, they started South Carolina. Then
ooh,
they
that's
go to
nasty.
Vandy. Yeah, they host South
LSU.
Carolina. They go to Vandy. They host LSU and A&M, who depending on which night, what A&M you could get, and then they go and close it out at South Carolina. So that is a
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
they,
nasty.
very that's a tough stretch of
Whoever
5
made
games.
that schedule
Yeah.
for them is messed up. Like,
Somebody hate
granted,
them.
they probably thought the Vandy and Texas A&M games would be like light, but to have like South Carolina and then the next week have LSU and then the next week you have South Carolina again, that's fucked up.
nah, this I can tell you what they thought. They thought Tennessee was going to hold that 11 rank or around that 11 rank, and it was going to be the battle of nothing but ranked people at the end of the season. But not so much.
If I was Kelly, I'd be writing a strongly worded letter.
Dear Mr.
They went
Royal,
from
Don't
11
you
to
ever.
15 to 19 to 20. Yeah, and this is all in 1 month of November. So yeah, they slid right up out of there.
Yeah, I'm writing a letter. Like, first of all, don't ever make me play freaking South Carolina and LSU all in 2 weeks span.
wait, they didn't even make it a full month in the top 25.
Nah, they didn't.
Sheesh. Okay, well, let me see. Hold on, where are we? I think that's. I
But
mean,
if
Ole
Tennessee
Miss.
beats Ole Miss, and I got to put them in the 25. If they beat, if
I
they,
I think they can beat Ole Miss. I don't think that's far fetched at all.
They're
I
going
think they
to
can
Ole
beat Ole Miss.
Miss.
but that's what I'm saying. Like SEC is not that weak of a conference for it to have like you mean two teams in the top 25 in my head in my headspace.
I will say it is interesting that the SEC went 7-7 in that SEC ACC challenge, and the ACC has like 7 teams in the bottom half of the top 25, and the SEC has none. Now, I will say that is interesting, and some of that is obviously due to scheduling, but I do think that if the ACC can have some teams in that bottom half of the top 25, I do think the SEC could have a few more
So
teams
who
thrown in
you
there.
putting in there? Who's the bottom?
Who would I put in there? Mm, Vandy. I think they didn't get enough like love when they were in there for a little bit.
Hell, I'm putting
Um,
Mississippi State back in there.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think
yeah.
A&M is gonna rise once they figure out the roles, but that could just me be a Texan.
Ooh, I'm not sold on A&M at the moment.
That's because y'all just smacked the hell out of them. Of course, you're not gonna be selling 99
Nah,
points.
that was before they played us.
Oh man, we beat Tennessee.
I
Is
thought
that
you were
the
an LSU fan.
Who said I was an
he
LSU fan?
he
You
a
Just because I
like
like
Starkey
Bob
fan?
Starkey and his
He like
game plan?
Starkey.
y'all. Craig ranked LSU
I
second
like
in
Gary
the
Blair.
top
So anything
25.
that comes
Just throwing that out
from
there.
Gary Blair, I mean his little tree. I root for him. I don't. I'm not an LSU fan. I'm sorry, LSU fans. I'm sorry.
You just a Bob Starkey fan.
What do you call him? The minister of defense or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's it for the SEC. We're gonna have some great games this week across the country. Make sure y'all all tune in. If you're down there in Baton Rouge, have a good drink for us. Is it Mardi Gras yet?
No, I think that's like early February, right?
Oh, okay. Well, don't drink too much. Save your liver for the next month. Um, is this the discussion? Did we want to have this discussion, or we want to wait for Dolores? 'Cause I know. Um,
Since we are talking about the SEC, could we talk on Mike Neighbors' comments about Michaela Williams? He
Go ahead.
basically compared her, comped her to the next Maya Moore or Maya Moore like.
Juju got that
Um,
spot, but I could see it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So who's y'all player
I
comp
think
for
she's
Michaela?
very Simona
Maddie Booker.
Justice.
Same girly.
That tickle.
That's twins. Twin now.
Hmm. Who in the W would she be?
She got some Chelsea in her bag.
That's what I was thinking. Chelsea.
I could see that. See, I see a little Simone Augustus in her sometimes.
She got to defend better for me.
Defense ain't there yet,
Yeah,
but
you know that's what I focus on. So
I
she
think that's
fought.
the
Hey,
thing for most
hey,
freshmen.
I know y'all know this. What was that? Was it Regine Lewis? Regine that played for
Who?
LSU?
Green,
Yes. Yeah.
Regine.
Moncrief Lewis or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's who Flage remind me of now that she got a pull up jumper
Hmm.
and can get to the hole consistently. They have the same little game.
How did that boy dribble it off his foot?
Any other comps? While
Mm,
we're on comps, who are some of your comps that you've seen in women's basketball that like, okay, yeah, this is going to translate well? I know we called Cody, Kayla Thornton. Is there
No,
anyone else you feel like they
think
have their doppelganger?
I think Cody needs to watch Rakia tapes and
Hmm.
stuff in the room. That's what I think.
Cody needs to dribble two balls at once. She need to work on her handles.
She need to work on a lot. But if that's the game that she's gonna choose for herself, she need to watch Rakia.
The game this past weekend was a nice start.
Yeah,
We're moving in the right direction.
yeah. When she finally started putting her head down and dominating physically the game, it's easy money.
I just be tired of her sliding on the floor.
India Rogers gives me Mariah Jefferson sometimes with how she finished, but that's just me. I could be forcing.
Excuse me.
Bro. Okay. So over the weekend, Muffin's sister. Oh wait, no, wrong coach. Sorry. Over the weekend, the Bob has broken history. She's made history. She's passed Coach K as the all-time leader of wins as the collegiate coach. That's a lot of games. I mean, if you think about it, what 30 plus years as a head coach, 1,203 wins. The majority of them coming from one institution. Like, do we think that? I mean, I think it can be broken depending on if she decides to, go ahead and take it to the house, and then of course Gino stays. I do think that it could be broken potentially, but is there anyone else, or do you see that record outside of those two being touched?
No, I don't think we in a new day and age. Ain't nobody trying to be coaching nothing that alone. Please. I'm trying to have a work life back. And I'm not doing that. I don't care about your little record. No. No, no, no. Who trying to do all of that? That jacket was fire though. Ain't nobody trying to coach that long. I don't
The
think. Y'all
jacket was by.
nobody trying to do all that. No. No.
Well,
Yeah,
she's 70. Like Katie said last night, 70?
Yeah, who trying to do that?
Like
No.
it's time to go hang with the grandkids, Mo. Like
Yeah,
it's a
she
lot.
got to. They need to pull a Pete Carroll and just like pull the rug underneath and just say, "Yeah, baby, go ahead and lay down, sit down,
Yeah, I
buy
just
her rocking chair and some wind chimes."
yeah, I don't like it's no disrespect, but I just don't see anybody coaching that long or wanting to. Like, mm-mm.
yeah. Because when you think about it, a lot of them also started coaching mad young too, like
Hmm.
super young. If anybody could possibly pass it, like you said, possibly maybe Gino, but that's dependent on if Tara decides to, step away and Gino keeps coaching, then he would definitely pass it because I think he's really only like 5 or 6 behind her.
Yeah,
So he's
I
not
re-
super far.
I think active coaches, Lisa may be the only one that's active, and she's at eight.
Whom?
From what I'm looking at, she's 850. She
Whom?
was it. Lisa Bluter.
Oh, oh. Mm.
Well, we know the wind's gonna slow down soon. Caitlin bounced, so she better rack them while she can.
Yeah, I'm looking at this list now, and everybody in the top is basically retired, outside of Tara and Gino, really.
So, well, congratulations to her. It was great to see a lot of her former players there. Um, some who did Dejanay go?
I don't know. They don't be putting her
No,
on
I
draft
wasn't
list.
being petty. I wasn't being petty.
I don't know.
That would, I doubt it.
Tara has done some, outside of what, maybe Notre Dame and UConn in Maryland, Tara's really up there. She's probably put maybe top five most players in the WNBA. And I don't know the numbers right off top, but she's put some really good players there.
I mean, yes, she's
Um,
been coaching for ages. She better.
Say 1,000 wins. My
Yeah,
God.
goddamn, like, and that's not to take away from her being a good coach, but come on now, that lady been coaching longer than I've been alive.
you're right. You're right.
Was
You know,
Dejanay on the graphic? Or no?
No, they didn't. The WNBA didn't even put her on their graphic. I was like, damn, y'all be playing with her, bruh.
we had the
Look,
sister act. We had let me see who else. Candace Wiggins, who
Um,
not
we
that
only
the
be
yeah.
homo
knowing her.
the homophobe is on here twice. Oh my God.
We had Jeanette Poland. Yeah, so she's given us quite a few people. So shout out to Tara. That is like no matter what, all jokes aside, she's definitely she's one of the greatest coaches. I would have also, of course, loved to see how far Pat would have been able to get had she not, retired and ultimately succumbed. So congrats, Tara. You did your thing, girl. You're still doing your thing. And I think she's going home after Kiki probably. Like with Kiki butting into who she's becoming, she probably gonna see that out. So what? That's 2 more years.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
And she can be like, "All right, baby, we leaving out here together." That was a cute video though that they released with her blowing the kiss. I ain't never see that much emotion from Tara ever. So that's cool.
Let me look, cause I saw y'all posting that, but I ain't.
That's the most emotion since they made that girl eat at that table by herself.
I'm looking at Stanford WNBA players. I completely forgot Vanessa Nygaard went to Stanford.
Oh,
That,
Oh, look a little steep.
that is not some.
why the hell is Phoenix got DT and still trying to get EDD too? They don't have no. Oh my God.
As long as they give
They
us
gonna
the
miss.
pick, you can take her. The
They gonna
wash
miss the
white women of the
combination of
West
50
Coast.
games.
Right.
Yes. They said we already have one old player with back issues. Let us get another.
Senseless.
That's what they want to do. I just don't think like EDD ain't never played that far from home. Let's be serious.
The furthest is in what? Chicago, maybe? Yeah,
Yeah,
Chicago.
Chicago.
And she left stores to come back to Delaware. So yeah, that's actually a perfect segue. So getting into whatever news we have of free agency, is there any rumor or anything that has kind of caught y'all attention? Anything that you may have seen? Any type of speculation from players or where they're considering teams who have been interested in specific players that made you say, okay, I could see that, and then some like, what the fuck?
I need Jordan in Atlanta right now. I need it. I need it.
Give me your
I
dream,
like that.
give me your dream. Ooh, your dream lineup.
Um, I don't have one, but I just know I need Jordan, Ryan, and Leash.
That would be a nice
I want them to get a big,
to
like
take
maybe
Cheyenne's spot or to pair with Cheyenne.
to pair with Cheyenne, because I think Cheyenne will do well at the 4 spot, or
Hmm.
just someone to like relieve her. Like even if you want to play small ball, that's fine, but not having anyone to come in behind her that can bang, she'd be exhausted by the
Hmm.
third halfway through the third quarter. She'd be tired, exhausted, especially when they play Dallas. Boy,
I'd
she was
like to
fighting
see
for her life
Nelson
out there.
Medota in Atlanta.
No,
Who?
I like her in Connecticut. Leave her in Connecticut.
Who?
Olivia Nelson Medota.
Oh, I'll take it.
Hmm. You know, she was very solid last year, especially in the absence of Bree Jones. She had some good minutes.
Yeah, and Atlanta likes to play with pace, and I think she one of the bigs that can excel in transition for them. So with Cheyenne, them going between the 4 and the 5, I think that'll be nice or cool to watch, I should say.
She ain't playing this year, but Han to Atlanta. Free her.
Hmm. It was announced that there's a good chance that Jonquel goes back to New York.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts? Do you think
Boo.
that that's a good move? Do you think that she's afraid to go and have her own team? Do you think she likes just being behind people? She should have explored more options, or what?
I don't care.
I think she should have teamed up with
Like
another.
facts, low. Like do what you gonna do.
I'm I'm shocked. I think it's good for New York, because they do need to build some continuity amongst their core, I guess. Um, but I'm actually shocked that she decided to come back. Uh, I'm interested to see how the money plays out, because they're already spending like over 730K or something like that on Sabrina, Vandersloot, Laney, and Thornton alone. And so that's like not including Stewie being cored. Um, and I think the core can go up to the Supermax. Stewie probably won't take the Supermax, so they can build a team. But I think, like JJ and Stewie seem like they're going to be the ones taking pay cuts, and that would be Stewie again. Granted, Stewie can make money elsewhere, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how they make the money work, and interesting to see if there's any little speculations about money being paid on the table,
Doubt
whatever.
it.
But you know they're not going. You know they're not going to explore that because that's only reserved for the aces. You know.
But yeah, good luck. Good luck to them.
I think with them bringing her in, they don't. That like leaves a hole from you mean from last year. You mean the part that they were supposed to get better at. You don't leave room to grow. But that's just
Yeah,
me.
I guess we'll still see who, if anyone else comes there, but I don't think it really fixes any of the issues that they had last year. Um, I mean, JJ helps because JJ was the only one that really showed up in the playoffs. Well, not the playoffs, but the finals. But they still got to figure out something about their guard play. So,
Natasha Cloud.
You didn't think that the MVP showed up?
no, she did not at all.
Hmm.
I don't even I don't even think there was one game in the finals that she showed up in.
Wow. Interesting. Okay. Is there anyone out there in the free agency market that you think that they need to aggressively go after? Whether it be a Natasha, a Skylar, a
Both.
NECA.
They need to get
I
back.
I don't think they could
Would you
get
about to say bring Didi
either.
back?
Yes.
I was literally dang it. I was going yes,
I
bring Didi
think
back.
before they bring her back, they should bring Beck Allen back if Beck Allen choose to come back because they did trade her away, and I feel some type of way about you trading me away because you didn't think I was a part of your championship vision. But I think Beck Allen could be good. I don't really see a place for Skylar, and I know people have brought up Skylar and Natasha Cloud for New York, but I don't really see a place for them, especially when you have Courtney Vandersloot making close to 200K as your point guard, and then Sabrina making close to
Oh no,
200K.
I'm
Like,
saying one of them gotta go. The one with the
yeah.
heavy feet or the one with the wife at home. One of them gotta go.
Now if they trade one of them away, then yeah, make shit shake.
Seattle.
But I don't even honestly, I don't know, are their teams dumb enough to take on that money for players of that? I don't know. I'm not a GM, but if I'm a GM and you come to
LA
me,
dumb enough.
what
pay
did Shay
Courtney
call?
Vanderson 194K. I'm not doing
What
that.
did Shay call them during the finals? The Olsen twins, didn't
Exactly.
The what?
he?
Olsen
Olsen
twins.
twins.
Separate them two.
The Olsen twins.
From.
The Olsen twins is crazy.
That's Mary Kate and Ashley, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now
How
I'm
old are
showing
you,
my
Craig?
age. My age. Showing my
Do you know
age.
Tia and Tamira at least?
I know T and Tamir. I know sister.
Okay, okay.
Who
I
the
gotcha.
twins?
So what about LA? Because it looks like Jordan's going to be on the way out. Who will fit them better out of Skylar or Natasha? Or is Courtney Williams a free agent?
I don't know. I could go look
They
at.
should just start fresh, to be honest. Like,
Yeah, go get a
let's,
page or whoever you can get.
I just
Yeah,
start
Courtney
fresh
Williams
and
is
build a new
unrestricted too.
identity. Since it seems like Nneka's out the door, we know if Nneka's out, Shanae's out, Jordan Canada's out. You already have Stevens on contract. You have Hamby, Stephanie Talbot will be back. Guessing Lexi will be back. So, start fresh. You got money to blow. Uh, go get some nice pieces and build a new identity.
I'm worried about the coaching staff, but
The Kirby trying to build a little friendship, little sisterhood of the traveling basketball circle over there. Like, so I don't know what they got going on, but I would drop the bread for Skylar. What else you got going for you?
That would be.
That's the star that's gonna get people to the stadium.
It
Yeah,
will.
Skylar. You right about that?
That is
Skylar gonna
true.
beat up Kurt Miller. She gonna punk his ass.
But yeah,
She about to dog his ass. She
but
about to have him doing towel pushes.
outside of like Los Angeles, the city selling itself, is it a destination to go to right now for the WNBA?
I'm looking for the
That's
hoes.
that's true. Like, I mean, who there have been rumors about, their front office, the organization as a whole, um, everything, staff included. So I guess maybe that's why they wanted to bring Reagan in, who maybe has relationships with some of these people that she probably just coached or coached against. Um, uh, Maybe they use her to get some pieces from Dallas.
I'm
She's
about to say they
familiar
about to
with
go
those
get
players.
Ioka Lee.
Uh, Wait, I would take Kalani though in LA. LA is one of the teams reported be interested in her. And that gives you another big outside of Azare and Hamby.
Oh,
Don't worry, Cameron Brink coming.
okay. I like Brink there too. So
Oh,
Brink and Azrae would be nasty. Like,
but that's so frail. Will you want that as your starting lineup though?
uh, I don't know about starting, but just to be on the court at one point in the time in the game.
I feel like you need some girth there.
WBB.
I was
Yes, you need a WBB. Yes, a wide back B. Which team do you feel like has the most room, and who should make the most moves? Is it Seattle? Is it Chicago?
It need to be Indiana, but they play too much.
Yeah, Indiana don't like life. They don't like winning. I'm convinced.
I gotta say DC, and I'm not even the biggest Washington fan. I just think that they could offload a lot of money and be able to like rebrand this pretty smoothly.
So is it time to build around Shakira?
Oh.
Oh my God, that'd be so dope. I want them to get Rakia, and I don't know how it's gonna happen, and I don't care.
Oh.
Go ahead, Shay. Tell us, Shay. This is your moment. Tell us, what do you want to see as a Mystics fan?
I want to see the back of my eyelids close because I will be asleep during the season. That's what's gonna happen for me. I told y'all years ago that they should have took. If you took Sister Howard, you wouldn't have these problems. But
Okay.
here we are. So if the Phoenix or whoever wants bad back and beyond, that's fine. But you're gonna
Oh,
give us the
Jesus.
pick, and we gonna go get Rakia with it. That's how we get Rakia.
One thing about Shay, she gonna circle back to not picking Ryan.
Because it just would have solved so many problems.
So outside of Kira, who do you keep?
You keep Atkins. I think this was her last year was her first time really being hurt, and she struggled with that. Atkins, Kira.
I'm keeping Queen.
I was about to say
Oh
Queen.
yeah,
I'll
Queen.
keep
I forgot
Queen.
Queen. Yeah,
Yeah, Queen
Queen.
gonna
I
give
think you got
minutes.
to find a trade partner for Maisha. I wasn't impressed with her minutes
But
last
Loki,
That's
year.
who Phoenix should be trying to get, but okay.
That's a good wide back B.
They might be. They might be. You don't know.
Do you keep Sykes?
Oh yeah, you keep Sykes. Sykes was open.
If Howard is leaving from, I mean, supposedly leaving from Dallas, I'd like to see Hines Allen in Dallas.
I'm sorry, Natasha Howard is leaving from Dallas.
I saw some.
Speculation.
Ooh, they passing. They sister ran through. Lord have mercy.
Not the mileage.
Seattle. Seattle needs to make moves, but they gotta trade some pieces away first. Like they spending a lot of money on. I have their cap sheet up right now. They spending a lot of money. They spending like 160K on Mercedes Russell, close to 160K on Ezzy,
Jesus.
150K on Kia. Like it's yeah, they just spending a lot.
Kia
So
who? Vaughn?
Kia Nurse, they
Nurse.
spending.
Oh,
Oh, what's wrong with you?
Hey, she retired.
she is. And with child.
So
Oh
right now
shit.
in the off season they got about 420K to work with, which isn't bad. They can still get like a big name player, but I think they should offload some of those contracts that they have.
Like to be honest, they got two more cheap years out of Shakira and Queen. Um, in DC, like they could really rebrand this team, like Shay said, at an affordable price if they moved on from Sykes. I mean, not Sykes. Hines Allen, and kept at least Ariel as the core of that team.
Keep
They,
Sykes too.
yeah, I definitely do
Yeah,
think keep
keep sight.
Sykes.
Yeah.
So
And
basically, you're saying build around Kira, Sykes, and Ariel.
yeah, because I think it's time for EDD to go. I think it's time they move on. Like not because she had, but it's time. She's not healthy enough. Is she good? Yes, she's good for like how many breakout games a year, but hurt the other ones just like a DT. Move on. She can move on into a different role, but and ride off into the sunset. It's time, sister.
What?
I'm sick.
Wait, what are Atlanta's draft picks this year? Do y'all
Um,
know? Pull
It's
it up
eight,
for me.
nine. One of them.
8 or 9. Okay.
First round,
is
number
eight.
8, second round, number 8, third round, number 8. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Would Atlanta do well with Mercedes Russell? Y'all think?
Mm,
Yeah, she's
mm.
up. It could work. She's big, but
Which version of Mercedes Russell are you getting? That Well, wait. How long has it been?
she'll show flashes.
Maybe 2021 version of Mercedes, probably.
Yeah, right
I
after the bubble.
I think there are better options out
Kalani
there.
low key, but they ain't Atlanta wasn't interested in Kalani, right? Their name didn't pop up. Because Kalani wouldn't be bad. Like I know Atlanta likes to run, but sometimes they need to slow down.
I
Yeah.
just want
It's
Kalani
okay.
to be somewhere that she gonna be there for long term. Like I want to see Kalani in a jersey for it be known for her jersey. Like known, you know what I mean?
You
I
want to
believe
buy a
she
jersey and still be able to wear it the next year.
exactly because
Well,
right
that
now,
shit don't happen in the W anyways for role players. So good luck.
well, can we give
It,
her? I don't know. Can she get a Sylvia type? I don't know. I don't know. I just want her to have some longevity in one team, please. Thank you.
I'm done buying WNBA jerseys. I got so many jerseys of players that don't even like their team no more. I be like, shit, do I wear it? Do I
Have you
wear it
bought?
in support? I don't know. Like
You never bought a Powers jersey?
I got a Hamby Vegas jersey. What the fuck I'm gonna do with that shit now? Like, what am I supposed to do with that? I got
Did
a
you?
Skylar Phoenix jersey. What the fuck am I supposed to do with a Skylar Phoenix jersey? Like, what the fuck?
Life comes at you fast.
Did you ever buy an AP jersey?
No. Why would I buy her jersey?
I got a Jewel Lloyd jersey, so I'm still
Oh,
good.
you're
Oh,
set.
well, she happy. She's happy at her location, so you good.
The other jersey, yeah. I'm just gonna, yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to the Olympic roster. The training camp pool was announced today. Most of the names we're pretty familiar, and those have been the same people going consistently over the past what 1 or 2 cycles. So, is there any name there that shocked you that they were a part of the pool that was announced outside of the obvious one?
Not shocked. I'm very saddened to see one name, but not shocked.
Who do you think didn't make the pool that should have been?
I'm curious how they decided on the pool. Cause I mean, I don't know where Brianna Jones is in her recovery, so I was interested. It was interesting to not see her on it. but if she's still recovering from her injury during the season, then that makes sense. Skylar not being on it was interesting, but Skylar's been kind of quiet lately, so I'm not even sure if she accepted the invite or not, if they would have sent it to her. So those were the two main ones that I guess I was looking for, but they weren't there.
And so, for those who aren't aware, it's Ariel Atkins, Aaliyah Boston, Nafisa Collier, Kalia Copper, Alicia Gray, Chelsea Gray, Brittany Griner, Ryan Howard, Stolen Shoes, Benaja Laney, Jewel Lloyd, Arike Ogunbowale, Kelsey Plum, Brianna Stewart, Diana Taurasi, Alyssa Thomas, Asia Wilson, and Jackie Young. So, like we said, those are either former Olympians. They're part of the Gold Cup team. I'm not Gold Cup, the World Cup team, and then others who have just always been in the camp. Who do you think are the top five locks on that team?
Asia, AT, and Stewie and BG are like locks. Uh, I think Jewel is a lock too.
And
And I mean, there's a lot of locks on there. Like Chelsea Gray is a lock too. Um,
how long would it have been since her injury? At that
I
time,
mean,
it would
she's
be
been back
almost
in
a
the
year.
gym. She's been back. Oh, you mean Chelsea or
Chelsea.
she's been back in the gym shooting, so I think if she wasn't good to go, she would have probably opted out. So she must be good.
So it sounds like we probably have maybe 3 to 4 spots for the newbies up for grabs. And if so, who would you think? Who would you take?
I'm
I think
biased. Don't
Nafisa
ask me.
Collier is a lock.
I can see that.
Oh, and Cheryl is the coach. Yeah.
I'm biased. Don't ask me.
I think
So
it's
that
gonna
means
be like it's honestly gonna be like the guard position where I think that's where the real battle is gonna be. Like I wouldn't be shocked if
it sounds like
Stewie,
the
like as far as posts goes, I think there are 6 posts on here, and I think those 6 posts will all make the team, especially because AT is somebody you can move around at the one, and you can like play her, and she doesn't really have to be the post player all the time. And same with Stewie. So it allows you that room to like kind of move things around. But if you think about it, you already got Stewie, AT, BG, Asia, Aaliyah, and Fee. That's like 6 post
oh
players,
yeah.
and you just got to pick 6 guards. The guard spot is going to be the battle. I'd like to see Ryan get a shot. I'd like to see so many people get a shot. Like Ryan, Jackie, Leash, Ka. I think Ka was really big in that last tournament they did in Australia. Like Ka was huge. Um, it's that's gonna be a battle.
Yeah, I think the odd man out is what Sabrina, Enrique, and Kelsey. They kind of, I kind of look at that and just say it's a wash between them three.
I mean, how many people can make the roster? 12, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's 6 people that aren't gonna get chosen. So, whew, that's
Yeah.
tough. Good luck to them.
And there's one spot on reserve. So basically, they got to have five.
Yes, there's one spot on reserve.
Oh my God, she gotta
If
go.
they
She gotta
wanna,
go.
if they wanna put her in this little qualifying tournament just to not have her, and
Coda. Coda.
that's fine.
Are you saying hold up, or you saying you're calling Coda?
I said Coda. I'm okay.
Uh, making sure you wasn't falling enough.
She was trying to talk to y'all.
Hey, Coda.
Okay. And this part, we're going to we discussed a few things before we wrap up tonight. Is there anyone that has any questions for us? Questions for Lo? Y'all want to hear Lo debate something? You want to hear Yana and her numbers or anything? Raise your hand before we go. You want to hear Shay? Oh, well, you know what, Shay? Let's go back to the Big Ten right quick because you weren't on here while we were discussing that
My
your beloved
stomach
conference.
hurt.
So, what is your take on the Big Ten this year in the Fighting Brendas?
The fighting Brenda's is gonna fight. Bree McDaniel been hooping. Like I'm really impressed with her growth. Like no bullshit. She really been hooping. The rest of them, It's gonna be an uphill battle. Brenda got to recruit. If she can't recruit, we got to figure out what the next step is. The Big Ten as a whole, yeah, I don't see no smoke for real. I think if Ohio State hoop like that, they'd be straight. But I think Iowa is very vulnerable. I I don't see it. I don't see the vision as a conference.
So do you think? So when you say you don't see the vision as a conference, you mean as it stands, or the future of the conference?
Oh, as in terms of March, actually making significant noise. I think
Ooh.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Big Ten was done by Sweet 16 or Elite Eight, maybe, depending on where they put Iowa.
Hmm. Is there a surprise in there for any of those teams?
I don't think so. Unless y'all seeing something I don't. I just think is the conference has been it seems like they kind of peaked last year with Iowa making the Final Four, Ohio State upsetting UConn, Maryland made it to the Elite Eight, and I think that they regressed overall. And I don't see it. My attention is in my Pac-12. So thanks for playing.
Okay. Anybody in the audience have some questions before we wrap up for tonight? Is Tom on here? He ain't got nothing to say this week.
He don't.
Well, all right, everybody. We're gonna make sure you all tune in this Thursday. We're gonna be on playback as well as the wine dine for the post games. Have I been drinking already? The wine down
Oh my god.
Thursday. Sorry, the wine down Thursday after LSU versus South Carolina. So make sure you get your drink of choice and come sip something with us. And we will see you all on Thursday. Y'all have a blessed evening. Okay, bye now.
We'll, we'll also be on playback. Call it a date night.
Yes, date night. Grab your boo and come and cut a rug with us.
Goodbye.